The opinions voiced on The Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting, or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you!
Oh, yeah.
Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill. Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Doc does it and they call him racist. We the people.
Let's go, Brandon. And welcome. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Misty Hansen, and welcome to The Raw. Henry will be here in a little while. He's at a Needles City Council meeting where, he's doing his job that he gets paid $12 whole a year for, $1 a month. Well, I'll tell you what, that is almost a slap in the face, but the honor of leading or creating, making sure that the city of Needles is as best as he can be. That's what Henry's doing right now. So he's there attending the city council meeting, listening to the people, and just pretty much doing whatever. Anyway, number, if you want to join in the conversation, 928-476-0331, 928-476-0331 is the number. And tonight, lots to talk about tonight, especially brand new year, brand new congressional, brand new congressional season, I guess. Congress is back in session, of course, and the House of Representatives is going great guns, turning things out. We'll talk about some of those and some other things that are coming up as well. Oh my goodness gracious me. Tomorrow night, we've got the Raw Crappy Movie Watch Party. Get your movie submissions in by the end of the show tonight. Get your movie submissions in by the end of the show tonight. If you don't, well, you might not get to see what you want to see. And then head off to theraw.locals.com then tonight and tomorrow to vote for your pick for the Raw Crappy Movie Watch Party. So we've got a couple of great movies that have been suggested, and I will be like I said, I will be posting those choices on a poll tonight at theraw.locals.com. If you're not a member, become a member. $5 a month, $50 a year, or you can put that off for a while and just kind of hang out, and you'll be able to see what is posted. You'll even get to click on the choices. But get on the raw.locals.com, the raw.locals.com, the raw.locals.com. I need to bring up that banner so you can join our locals page right down there at the bottom. You can see it right down there. Join our locals page, theraw.locals.com. Henry's even on there. Got him all set up on it today. So he'll be able to interact with everybody as well, make posts and do whatever he wants to do. But most of all, he'll be able to see what I see. I know it's kind of it's strange, but anyway, theraw.locals.com. Get on there. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a lot of fun. If you do decide that you want to become a supporter, please, by all means, don't post pornography. That's pretty much all I ask, and that's all that locals ask as well. My goodness gracious me. What do we got? We've got so much tonight. We really do. It is like I said, a new house, a new speaker of the house. Of course, Kevin McCarthy is the new speaker of the house. And they hit the ground running Monday with the passage of a bill that will suspend, or I don't know, it won't suspend anything, but what it does is it takes away the funding for the 87,000 brand new IRS agents. We'll talk about that. We've got some video to go along with that. Also, several House resolutions forming different committees. Going to talk about some of those, a couple of those. There are some that just really don't matter all that much, but there's one or two that are going to directly impact how the government does business with social media companies and the whatnot, especially when it comes down to your rights as a U.S. citizen and your ability to speak and participate in government. It wasn't so long ago that our very own federal government colluded with the National Teachers Association and got a letter from them claiming that right wing that parents were actively targeting and threatening school boards. Very shortly afterwards, the Department of Homeland Security began watching school board meetings with federal assets and targeting parents as potential terrorists. Just because they were upset about the way that their children were being taught. Of course, if you've been listening to me for any length of time, you also know that the Twitter files have been coming down. Lots of Twitter files. I mean, there's a new set that I haven't even gone through yet. I mean, just so much. There's only so much time in a day when I can get out there and look at some of these things. But right now, they are looking at the effects of government interference with the free discussion on what happened with COVID-19. And that seems to be a major issue as well. So that's something that we want to keep our eyes on and understand. We'll talk some more about that. Also, President Potato. Yeah, the pedo spud himself, good old Adolf Alzheimer. Yeah, that sack of shit. Guess he got caught with his hand in the secrets jar and is blowing it off like no big deal. I'm working with the library or with whatever Congress, whatever, the National Archives. I'm working with the National Archives. We turned them over. I don't even know what I had. Likely fucking story. We'll talk about that. We've got some breaking information about that. Also, the state of Arizona, of course, Katie Hobbs is the governor right now, and she'll be facing some investigations of her own as the new legislature comes into their power. We'll talk more about that as the night progresses. And of course, some nice videos from Congress itself. it is just it's just absolutely insane with what's going on out there. And I it's almost difficult. It really is. It's almost difficult to pay that close of attention to things. It really is, because there's so much coming at you. There's stuff coming from here. There's stuff coming from there. There's all this agony and whatnot, news stories that you can't really trust, because wow. I was having an interesting discussion on Facebook with a dear old friend of mine by the name of Bob Moore. And I had posted about House Bill 2121, something like that. It's the one that they passed Monday night. Like I said, we'll talk more about that here in a bit. But his defense of the entire thing, and this came, the funding for this came through the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, tell me how spending $80 million is going to reduce inflation. I don't know. I don't know either. But he went through and he basically listed the entirety of the left's talking points trying to make the case for these 87,000 IRS agents. That is a veritable army. That is a veritable army. You know, and they say, oh, we need this because we've got people retiring and going out. No, this was in addition to what they had, 87,000 additional agents. What are they going to do with it? Oh, well, we need them to answer the phones. 87,000 to answer the phones. Okay. I can see a couple of thousand, sure. I can see opening up a new call center and saying, okay, you are now a call center person. Here's the tax code. Here's a computer. Get to work. Answer questions. If you've ever tried to call the IRS, you sit on hold for hours on end. Sometimes, getting so upset that you just hang up. And that's exactly what they want, because it's expensive to answer phone calls in a call center. They would rather have you in trouble with the IRS, where they get to then give you fines and penalties, rather than have you do it right. And these 87,000 IRS agents weren't going after the 1% of wealth in the nation. If you think they were, you are gravely, gravely mistaken. No, they were going after you. They were going after me. They were going after small business. They were going after the backbone of America to squeeze more tax dollars out of us. And the Republicans threw a major shot across the bow to hopefully stop it. We're going to talk about exactly what it means now that it's passed here in a little while. But definitely want, the Peter Gallery says, the right of the U.S. citizens, good one, Misty. Ha, ha, ha. The government and their Gestapo. Oh, you're funny, Peanut Gallery. Yes, the rights of the U.S. citizens. That's what every single government employee or person elected to office is sworn to uphold. Your rights, your individual rights, the Constitution. They are sworn to do so. Yet it seems that the powers that be want to do everything but ensure that your rights are respected. Now, let me back this up just a bit. This, of course, is Speaker Kevin McCarthy, and it was the passage of H.R. 23, and that was the one that canceled the funding or revoked the funding for the 87,000 IRS agents. Let's take a listen to this.
On this vote, the yeas are 221 and the nays are 210. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Promise is made.
Now, that was one of the first things they promised they would do is reverse that. Their second promise, of course, was to open up investigations into the FBI, the CIA, and other government agencies for suppression of free speech, especially among social media. It is amazing to me that, you know, the Democrats, especially the left, have forever screamed about rights of the American people to assemble, to speak, to go to church, to talk to their elected officials for redress of grievances. And yet it seems that they don't want to have they don't want anything to do with that. Let's take a look at this. This is floor arguments from today with one of the resolutions that deal with that. Let's take a listen to him.
A ploy. It's not a ploy when the Department of Justice treats parents as terrorists, moms and dads who are simply showing up at a school board meeting to advocate for their son or daughter. A ploy. It's not a ploy when the FBI pays Twitter $3 million, not one, not two, $3 million to censor American citizens. It's not a ploy when the Department of Homeland Security tries to set up a disinformation governance board, because we all know that the Department of Homeland Security can tell what's good speech and what is bad speech, what's I mean, you got to be kidding me. I tell you what.
Do you remember that? The Ministry of Truth, the disinformation governance. There we go. Governance board. They tried to set that up in public. They tried to create a department in Homeland Security that decided whether or not your post or the news that you were getting is disinformation or not. And of course, it was disinformation if they disagreed with it.
Dozens of whistleblowers who've come talk to Republican staff on the Judiciary Committee don't think this is a ploy. That's why they came to talk to us. They know how serious this is. The former Democrat chair of the Judiciary Committee is in the press today saying we're going to fight this tooth and nail. This is political. But meanwhile, the former Democrat chair of the Intelligence Committee pressured Twitter to censor a journalist. You've got to be kidding me. This is the most important. This is about the First Amendment, something you guys used to care about. And I'd actually hoped we could get bipartisan agreement on protecting the First Amendment, the 5 rights we enjoy as Americans under the First Amendment. Your right to practice your faith, your right to assemble, right to petition the government, freedom of press, freedom of speech. Every single one's been attacked in the last 2 years. Government was telling people they couldn't go to church just a few years ago. Your right to assemble, your right to petition the government. The Democrats kept the Capitol closed. You couldn't, as a citizen, couldn't come to your Capitol that you pay for to address your member of Congress, to redress your grievances because Nancy Pelosi wouldn't let you in. Freedom of the press, I just told you what the head of the Intel Committee tried to do to a journalist. The most important right we have, though, is your right to talk. Because if you can't talk, you can't practice your faith. You can't share your faith. You can't petition your government. The right to speak is the most important, and that's what they're going after. And that's why we've had dozens of whistleblowers come talk to us. We want to focus on that because we want it all to stop. We want the double standard to stop. This idea that if you're a pro-life activist, you're going to get your door kicked in, you're going to get arrested and handcuffed in front of your 7 kids and your spouse for simply praying in front of an abortion clinic and telling the guy who was harassing your son to knock it off. You're going to have the FBI raid your home. But the protest that went on, at Supreme Court justices' homes in the aftermath of the leak of the Dobbs opinion.
Oh, that was just fine.
No problem there. Americans are sick and tired of it. And what we want, we don't want to go after anyone. We just want it to stop. And we want to respect the First Amendment to the Constitution that the greatest country in the world has. That's what this committee is all about. And that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we're going to do. Applaud.
And that's essentially it. Is what he said today. Of course, they were talking about the new select committee on the weaponization of the federal government, and Jordan went up on Democrats as they were trying to say, "Oh no, there's a misunderstanding here. It wasn't us. It was somebody else." Yeah, Alan, you're right. The IRS is building an army to quell any opposition so the government can extort monies with taxation without representation. Damn straight. You know, the only amendment to the Constitution that the Democrats seem to not be going after, I'm talking about the first 10. Seems to be the third one. At least they're not quartering soldiers in our houses yet. The resolution passed, of course, 221 to 211. And, you know, it went along right down party lines. You know, every single Democrat that decided to vote voted against it. There was one that didn't vote. And then there were 3 that didn't vote on the Republican side, but yeah, they still won. So what's it going to mean? What's it going to mean? It means that they are going to start looking at these federal agencies. They're going to start looking at the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security, the President of the United States. They're going to start looking at these folks who called for the silencing of the American press, the silencing of American citizens. They're going to start looking into this, and this in the end, what is it going to mean? Not a hill of beans, but the thing is, it's going to shed some honest light on it. calling the Democrats 211 traitors. Right now, it is really split along party lines in the House of Representatives. Anything that the Democrats are going to propose is going to get voted down. Anything that the Republicans are going to propose will get passed. But in the end, what does it mean? What does it mean? Well, go back to some Schoolhouse Rock. Well, I'm only a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. It's going to pass the Senate, or I'm sorry, pass the House of Representatives. Then it'll go on to the Senate, where it's Democrat controlled, and they will put it in committee, or they will just refuse to bring it up at all, which effectively kills the bill. However, in that meantime, when the Democrats start doing that time after time after time after time after time, they're going to look like assholes. And that is definitely going to affect how the American people vote in 2024. They are going to they're going to realize that, hey, unless we start getting some of these bills through to the president, our jobs are on the line. We're going to look like assholes. And we could possibly lose our seats in 2024 to Republicans. Excuse me. But that's all this is. That's all this is right now, is a political showmanship. Nothing that the House of Representatives does for the next 2 years is going to matter a hill of beans, except to be obstructionist to the Democrat Party. And hopefully, that the House Republicans, especially that dim-witted McConnell, will take a clue stick and start actually pushing for some of these things to go through. One of the biggest things I'm afraid of is that bill from last year, that HR, was it 1801, 1803, something like that, that essentially banned all firearms except for bolt action, muzzle loading, and 22s. I'm afraid that one will skip its way through the House just to go on to the president. The only chance it has to fail is if McConnell and crew decide to filibuster on it. And hopefully they will. It's one of the reasons why they've been, the Dems have been so insistent on getting rid of the filibuster. So they could pass these things through. Enough shit got through this last year, this last Congress, that I don't know how we're going to survive. $1.7 trillion debt increase. Patchy Roberts says the Democratic Party is very disciplined because they know elections are rigged in their favor. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And something interesting happened in Arizona this week. I'll tell you more about that here in a little bit. I'm not sure where it's going or how it will turn out. I imagine the investigation committee that Governor Hobbs wants to put together to look into election issues is going to be a rubber stamp saying, everything's good. We're just fine. We'll talk about some of her executive orders, day one executive orders that she signed. We can talk about more of those here in a little while. Anyway, it is Raw. I'm your hostess with Moses, Miss Rob Hansen. Of course, we are going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, your phone calls, 928-476-0331, 928-476-0331. It is The Raw.
This portion of The Raw could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at theraw@ktox.com. That's theraw@ktox.com. theraw@ktox.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010.
Learn how to defend yourself and your loved one. Kingman Force on Force. Krav Maga. Empty hands. Edge weapons. Firearms training. Train like law enforcement with our virtual range simulator. AZCCW classes. Free gun safety classes. Our instructors are AZDPS licensed, NRA certified, and former Combat Special Forces. 3001 Stockton Hill Road, Kingman, Arizona. www.kingmanforsonforce.com.
I'm Rob Hansen.
And I'm Henry Longbreak, along with Tundra.
And KTOX 1340 AM, we are pleased to support the Mojave County Sheriff's Canine Foundation.
The Mojave County Canine Foundation teams with the Mojave County Sheriff Department to keep our county safer. It increases deputy safety, and the dogs are highly visible deterrents against robberies, burglaries, and drug dealing.
Canines can save time clearing buildings. It takes less than the quarter of the time that it would take a deputy on his own.
Canines can track juvenile runaways, missing elderly persons, fleeing suspects, and provide comfort to traumatized victims.
For more information about the Mojave County Sheriff's Canine Foundation, or you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation or host a fundraising event that includes a canine demonstration, call John Sancelli at 651-270-0920 or go online at www.mcsk9f.com.
The Mojave County Sheriff Canine Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Okay, this is the Target house.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like sun came up outside.
You in the house. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
And welcome back. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Rob Hanson. Of course, you can give us a call anytime you want, 928-476-0331. That's 928-476-0331. Want to remind you to check out The Raw, the raw.locals.com. It's probably Johnny messaging me saying, oh, I didn't know you were on. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's Johnny. Anyway. No, it wasn't. Anyway, 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Let's see what we got. Anything? No, nothing new in the Rumble Rants area. Make sure you click that thumbs up sign in there. Yeah, they took away my plushie. Kind of pisses me off. I liked it when when you guys pounded my plushie. Made me all happy and giggly inside. But make sure you click that thumbs up down there if you like this. Just click the thumbs up anyway. Click the thumbs up anyway. Makes me happy. Makes you happy. Makes Rumble happy. And if you if you want priority for messages, toss some dosh my way, and you have the priority as soon as I get to it. Anyway, 928-476-0331 is the number. Another very powerful thing that Speaker McCarthy did was to remove a few people from key committees, specifically Eric Swalwell, Adam Schiff, and Ilhan Omar from congressional committees. Kevin McCarthy told reporters on Monday that Democrat Representative Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and serial liar Adam Schiff will not be serving on committees that they served on previously. He confirmed this with reporters on Monday. He says, I will not allow Adam Schiff or Eric Swalwell on the House Intelligence Committee. Well, here we have, let's talk about Adam Swalwell here for just a moment. If you remember, he was caught with a Chinese spy. If you or I were caught with a Chinese spy, we'd be in Club Fed so quick it'd make our head spin. Maybe even Gitmo. We'd be down there in Club Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Where they just close the door and forget about us. That's what would happen to you and me. We were actively cavorting with spies. No, he gets to sit on a committee that deals with U.S. intelligence and gets to have have those perks. Why is it that that the worst among us, especially when it comes out of the Democrat Party, stay in positions where they can continue to do more damage? What does the Chinese have on us that keeps these people in these positions? Does anybody know? Because I sure the hell don't. 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to talk about that. Of course, we have Ilhan Omar, who has openly talked about how evil the United States is, and she's a serving member of the House of Representatives. Allegedly, she screwed her brother to get him in the country, married him. She has, yeah, a spy, a terrorist, a treasonous liar. Oh my. That's funny, Ellen. But you know what's even more funny about that, Alan, is, they accuse conservatives. They they accuse MAGA conservatives or MAGA conservatives or whatever the hell they accuse Republicans of the same thing, except what do we do? What do we do? We go to work. We get up, we go to work, we come home. We go to sleep, maybe drink a few beers before we go to sleep, depending upon if you drink or not, and then you go home or go to bed and then get up and do it all over again the next day. You pay your bills, you take care of your family if you have one. You work hard, you play hard, and the cycle keeps going. You don't have time to burn down buildings. You don't have time to go and rob liquor stores because you're too busy keeping this country going, or even screwing Chinese spies. Yet what we find out that they're doing is the same thing they accuse us of doing. How many times have you heard that MAGA Republicans are the true terrorists in the country? We set fires to everything. We burn and we kill, we rape, we murder. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard that MAGA Republicans are the enemy? I can look back at the summer of 2021 and see who the enemy was. These were the same people that were torching buildings, setting police stations on fire, overturning, destroying entire neighborhoods, murdering each other in the streets. And yet very, very, very few of them ever faced any kind of real prosecution. We had the sitting vice president of the United States, Heels Up Harris, actively fundraising to bail these sacks of shit out of jail. Yeah. How quickly we forget about these things. And yet, you're the terrorist. You're the one that plans the destruction of the United States. You're the fascist that wants to control. You're the one that wants to take away other people's constitutional rights. It's pretty fucking amazing to me. Pretty disingenuous as well, that every single thing that we are accused of, they do in spades. They wish to silence you. They wish to silence opposition. They wish to take away the gun rights of honest Americans, honest citizens. They have circumvented your 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. And they're doing their dead level best to make sure that the 10th Amendment goes away as well, and that deals with states' rights. Who's the fascist there? Who is the fascist there? The Raw, you're on the air.
Hey, Rob, it's Tuesday, and it must be the Raw.
It is the Raw. You know it. How are you, Alan?
Fine, thanks, Rob. How are you? How's everything going on over there?
Oh my God!
You know,
I'm watching things over here, and I'm going absolutely batshit crazy.
Oh, I know. I the last few hours or so, I was just popping around looking at some news, and let me tell you something. This Democratic Party and the rhinos, the 10 or 12 that,
right,
especially in the Senate, right? These people are the most dishonorable scumbags that this country has ever produced.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, these fucking senators that have been in office for 20, 30 years or whatever, like it's cocksuckers, right? These fucking people know that what they're doing is wrong, but they don't care. But they just need to have their agenda pushed.
As long as money still flows into their reelection funds, as long as money still flows into their bank accounts, they don't give a shit about you.
I know that, Rob, but the dishonor, that they're. That's what really gets me, right? I know they're all a bunch of lying fucking assholes. I know that. Right? They'll do anything to get elected, and then of course screw the people over, and get rich doing it.
Right.
I know all this, but these fucking people took an oath, right?
They did.
Just a couple of days ago, right? They took their oaths and all this shit. Do they actually know what they're reading when they take that oath? No.
I'm sure that there's a handful of those that have actually served in the United States military that understand that fucking oath.
Right, and they're taking other oaths. You know what I mean? There's more than one oath. You know what I mean? But it's all the same oath, which is to our Constitution.
Yes.
I don't know. It just fucking pisses me off, Rob. The dishonorable act and you know what? That the Democratic Party are very, very, like somebody wrote over there, very disciplined, right? They really are, because they know, you know what I mean? That they're not worried about losing elections. They got a fucking rigged, So they'll just stick together. They're probably all being, told this, that, hey, don't worry, you're not going to lose. And I mean, there was 35 elections in Congress that that all went to Democrat. How did that happen? You know what I mean? We know how it happened. They fucking cheated and got away with it, Rob. And again, and they're going to do it again in 2 more years.
I hope not. I honestly hope that what McCarthy is doing now, mind you, McCarthy is not your friend. Listen to me. Let me listen, guys. Listen to me carefully. Kevin McCarthy is not your friend. He is a rhino extreme.
Well, he's a Unity insider.
Yes,
he's an RNC insider. Like McConnell. McConnell comes right out and fucking says it. At least, McCarthy's got that little Irish bullshitting thing going there. You know what I mean? That he can get away with it. But he did take a couple of steps today that I read that he is doing the right things. I mean, this thing with the taxpayers, the 87,000 fucking IRS agents, right?
Uh-huh.
Now they passed that bill, right?
Yes, they did.
211 fucking traders voted against it. Now, why would they do that?
Because they want the uber rich to pay their fair share. They think that the uber rich doesn't pay any taxes at all. They think the uber rich just do everything in their power to circumvent paying taxes. If the federal government went and confiscated every single 1%er's income and what they have in savings and hidden in offshore accounts or whatever it is, it wouldn't even come close to paying off the national debt of $37 trillion.
Oh, we don't. That's not even the real debt that we have.
No, it's not.
I mean, the real debt nobody knows except for that scumbag that works in the reserve. He knows, and it's all digital, so he can just go ahead and just print out a few trillion, digitally.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what causes inflation. Every time the government spends more money, the costs of goods and services go up exponentially.
Well, Rob, it's funny because I went to Dollar General today.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know if you guys have Dollar Generals out there. You got a lot of Circle K's and shit like that.
Yeah, we do. We have a couple. I think 3 of them in town.
Yeah, I mean they're like almost on every corner around here, right? So it's a good store. You get a lot bang for your buck. Well, I went in there, just got a few things, and it cost $103. Yeah, I go back and read the receipt. I was like, did I really spend $100 on this? You know what I mean? So yeah, inflation is really bad, and I feel bad for people that can't afford it because luckily, I'm okay. You know what I mean? It's not going to affect me as much as some of my neighbors around here.
I took my daughter Megan over to a store we have next to Safeway. It's called Dollar Tree. Of course, there's nothing in there for $1 anymore. It's all $1.25
or up. Now. Yeah, we get those here too. There's a couple of them. Yeah,
and
I went from $1 to $1.25.
Yeah. Well, my dinner tonight. I actually splurged on my dinner tonight. I did not have my one daily cheese and mayo sandwich.
I was waiting on that, the cheese sandwich on a Pall Mall.
I splurged today. I bought a package of Polish sausages and a can of SpaghettiOs. I cut up the sausages and the SpaghettiOs, heated it up, and that was my dinner that I shared with my daughter.
No, Rob, you got to come up here, man, and fucking visit me. You know what I mean? I'll hook you up here.
I think your wife would get jealous.
One thing I like where I live, Rob. One thing I like where I live is pork and chicken and even steak to some extent isn't really that expensive here compared to any place else. You know what I mean? But everything else is, the canned goods and the pasta. Everything is like pretty much doubled. But we've been pretty lucky because I live in a very big farming area here.
Mm-hmm.
So like even eggs and, the usual stuff, sausage, bacon, that kind of stuff. I mean, we got bacon here for 2 for $6, sometimes 2 for $7, but sometimes 2 for $6 here.
Yeah.
For a full 16 pound. That's pretty good. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not bad.
I go down to Massachusetts, forget it. It's like double the price down there.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
yeah,
I
bad. I feel bad for people that can't afford this the food stuff, and my electric bill's gone up. It's another $50-$60 here.
Yeah.
Oil's up to almost $4 or $5 a gallon. So.
Yeah.
People are struggling around here.
It's all the gas is going back up again.
Yeah, it is. It went up 30 cents here already. Yeah, just in the last week.
It's going back up again, and I'm looking at, oh my God, where the hell are we going? I thought it was supposed to be going down, Uncle Joe. You lied to me, you sack of shit.
Oh, he lied? Oh my God, he would never lie.
Oh, I know.
Joey.
I mean, how could somebody that loves Rocky Road as much as he does, or double chocolate dip chunk?
I think it's double chocolate chip or some shit like that.
Yeah, double chunk chocolate, whatever it is. Be a bad guy. Optics.
Hey, so what was going on with him with Mr. McGowan down in my old Fort Bliss area over there in El Paso?
Oh, good Lord.
He was like Mr. McGowan around there. He had like no fucking clue what he was doing. And another thing, I heard that they took like 100,000 illegal aliens and they rounded them up and fucking threw them over the border or something just so they could clean up the area.
They went through, they cleaned up El Paso so it didn't look like it was an invasion site for the cartel and whatever.
Oh yeah,
got rid of them, cleaned up the streets, and it made it look really nice.
Well, Rob, have you ever been to Fort Bliss? I mean, that's
I've never been there. No.
Oh well, that place 15 years ago was a fucking shithole. Imagine what it's like now. You know what I mean? All right, Rob, I got to go. I'll call you in a little while.
Is there a reason why they call it Fort Bliss?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, because it's named after some colonel or general or something like that. General Bliss.
Definitely isn't blissful. All right, my friend. Thanks for the call.
He was a Mexican. Yeah, he was like a hero in the Mexican-American War or something like that. You know,
well, okay. You know, they just called it.
Hey, Rob, stay on this side. That was good. You were talking about the spy, the terrorist, and the treasonous fucking liar. That shifty motherfucker. He was on the news over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship was on the news over the weekend. I don't know, one of his fucking leftist scumbag shows, right? Again, still pushing lies. Still, to this day.
And they're going to continue. They're going to continue to push and push and push the narrative that, the Republicans are bad, the Republicans are evil. All they want to do is make sure that prices keep going up and up and up. Damn funny thing. Entire Trump presidency, we had negative growth in inflation. Prices actually went down. We had income coming in because businesses were moving back into the United States. They were building factories here. People were getting jobs in droves, and gas was super duper reasonable.
Yeah, it was $1.88 here when Trump got couped, when they did the coup d'état.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I think it was like a $1.67 or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It was insanely low. Now,
yeah,
you're lucky to get it under $3 a gallon.
Oh no, it's like $3.60 now. It went up 30 cents. It was right around $3.30 or so now.
Right.
And that's even like the cheap places. The other places you go, it's like $3.70, $3.80. But in the cities, if you go like in the cities around here with the boonies, it goes up like now 30, 40 cents. For some reason, the boonies is always a little bit lower, but I don't know because people need it. Around here, I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right, I'll call later on, Rob. But keep up the good work, brother.
All right, Alan. You have a wonderful, and dude, thank you for your call. Do appreciate it and your support.
Yeah, of course, always.
All righty, bye bye. It is The Raw, 928-476-0331. 928-476-0331 is the number, of course. And you heard it right there. I take live phone calls. I just pick it up and say, The Raw, you're on the air. And that's essentially how I do it. We're going to be heading off the top of the hour break here in just a couple of minutes. When we come back, we've got more on a lot of this. Especially the Potato Spud's incoherent answer when it came to sensitive documents found in an office. And by the way, it wasn't on a government office. It was at a university. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that. And of course, your phone calls, 928-476-0331. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Misty Hansen, and we will be back right after these very short messages. Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way! Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Okay, this is the target house.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like the sun came up outside.
You in the house. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
The opinions voiced on the Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting, or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you! Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill. Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Doc does it and they call them racist. We the people.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go Brandon. We the people. Let's go Brandon.
And welcome back. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with Moses, Miss Misty Hansen. Of course, Henry is not with us yet. He will be here a little later once he gets back from his city council meeting. He said it's probably going to go a little bit long tonight because, you know, it's the first meeting of the year. And they have a lot to go over. He said his packet was 1.5 inches. So that's a lot of stuff to go over, and we will hopefully he'll make it in before the end of the show. Of course, your phone call is 928-476-0331, 928-476-0331. I'm interested in what you have to say, regardless of whether you agree with me or not. I'm very interested in hearing from you, because I want you to have the same voice. I want you to be able to freely express your opinions. Now, mind you, I might disagree with you and vehemently disagree with you. It's happened before. It'll probably happen again. But that's part of the American experience. Debating your points of view, being able to come to even agreement to disagree and walk away still as civil friends. It's amazing to me that we don't do that anymore. I mean, absolutely amazing to me. Because it seems that people in opposition to each other, and this has been true on both sides of the field. And frankly, I'm going to blame Newt Gingrich for starting this. This really took off during Newt Gingrich's attempt to take down the Clinton administration by any means necessary. And if you think back on it, I imagine you might agree with me. That's where the Democrats decided, hey, they don't want to get along with us. Well, we don't have to get along with them. So death to them all. If we can't destroy them or win them over to our side, we'll completely destroy them. We'll remove their ability to make a living. We'll remove their ability to communicate. We'll do everything we can to silence them. Therefore, they're no longer part of the debate. And I blame Newt Gingrich for the start of it. Now, mind you, what he did was tame in comparison to what's going on today. And Republicans have paid the price for it. But we have, I don't understand why we can't get along. I just don't understand it. Anyway. Anyway, revealed top secret intelligence documents related to Ukraine and Iran were found in Biden's private office. According to CNN, Joe Biden stored top secret files with sensitive compartmented information designated at the Penn Biden Center in D.C. The documents were discovered by Biden's lawyers on November 2nd, just days before the 2022 midterm. Let me say that again. The documents were discovered just days before the midterm elections, and I guarantee you that they put a lid on that as quickly and as quietly as they could to make sure that none of this got out until the midterms were well and truly over. Roughly 10 documents from the President Biden's vice presidential office at the center Sources said CBS News has learned that the FBI is also involved in the U.S. Attorney inquiry. Attorney General Merrick Garland assigned U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, John Lutch, a Trump employee, to review the documents. Top White House advisors also knew Joe Biden hid classified documents in his private office. Let's listen to the potato himself try to explain, that was no big deal.
When my lawyers were clearing out my office at the University of Pennsylvania, they set up an office for me, secure office in the Capitol. The 4 years after being vice president, I was a professor at Penn. They found some documents in a box in a locked cabinet, or at least a closet. And as soon as they did, they realized there were several classified documents in that box. And they did what they should have done. They immediately called the archives, turned them over to the archives, and I was briefed about this discovery and surprised to learn that there were any government records that were taken there to that office. But I don't know what's in the documents. My lawyers have not suggested I ask what documents they were. I've turned over the boxes. They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review, and which I hope will be finished soon, and there'll be more detail at that time.
So
the first question now, I forgot. Your first question related to?
I asked if
I'm only joking.
He's full of shit. He actually probably did forget what the first question was, which was dealing with this security breach. The same thing, by the way, that the Biden administration and the Department of DOJ has accused Trump of doing. Even so much as raiding his Mar-a-Lago home and taking everything from him. When is the FBI going to raid the White House? When is the FBI going to raid his home in, wherever the hell it is? Toss it. Searching for everything. They're not. They're not going to. Even when he leaves office in 2024, if he does. They're not going to go and toss his house. They're not going to go and search through his personal items. He will get a complete pass for this. Yet it's the same damn thing that they accused President Trump of. It's fucking amazing. It is true. It is absolutely, truly amazing how that story is coming. And honestly, I'm surprised that CNN, NBC, ABC, and the lamestream media is actually covering it. I mean, holy cow. You'd almost think they didn't like him or something. 928-476-0331. Still waiting on Henry to come. He's like I said, he's doing a he's doing a Needle City Council thing tonight. And of course, he'll be out of town on Wednesday night. He'll be joining us on the Crappy Movie Watch Party from wherever the hell he is in Southern California, from a secret location in Southern California. He has several appointments he needs to go to, but he will be joining us because Crappy Movie Watch Party is a hell of a lot of fun. And if you haven't gotten your submissions in, make sure you get your submissions in. Send them to the Raw News 24/7 at gmail.com. The Raw News 24/7 gmail.com at gmail.com. And we'll make sure that, there's a nice, healthy list for people to choose from. Hell, you may find something that you would rather watch than what you submitted yourself. I even tried an experiment this week over there on the raw.locals.com is posting trailers for the suggested movies so far. I think it's it's a good way to, view what could possibly be coming up and enjoy yourself and start a conversation. Of course, you can definitely start a conversation over at the raw.locals.com by becoming a supporter for $5 a month or $50 a year. You can also use promo code The Raw for 1 free month. Now, I am going to extend that past the end of this month. I haven't figured out what promo code I'm going to use. Maybe I should take suggestions on the promo code. Yeah. just to keep it interesting. Just to keep that kind of stuff interesting. Your phone call is 928-476-0331. If you want to join in the conversation. Oh man. I seriously, I cannot believe that they are not that they are not going after Biden hammer and tongs the way they went after Joe Biden, or they're not going after Joe Biden like they went after Donald Trump. Why are they protecting this man? Why are they protecting this man? And who are they protecting? Why are they covering for him? Sure, they found some classified documents. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. The government has them back. Great. Whoop-de-doo. Every other president throughout history has taken home classified documents only to have them returned later. But it wasn't about keeping the dignity of President Trump. No, it was about making sure that he could never run for office again. That was the entire. That's the entire idea. I mean, that's the entire idea. Beside of the trumped up charges that the January 6th Unselect Committee levied against Donald Trump and then referred him to criminal proceedings with the DOJ. Speaking of that, Matt Gaetz was on radio today talking about the Senate will release the 14,000 hours of January 6th tapes that have been hidden. They're going to release those, all of them, every last minute of them. And it finally looks like we'll get the full story on what really happened on January 6th. Matt Gaetz told Charlie Kirk on Kirk's radio show that the new Republican Congress will unveil the hidden January 6 tapes, which the previous Congress put under seal for the next 50 years so they could hide their crimes. Let's take a listen to what Matt Gaetz has to say about that.
Can we get answers on J6? Can we get answers on this? Can we get answers on that? One of my favorite members of Congress is Thomas Massie, and the fact that he's going to be on this new committee really gives me hope. Matt, do you anticipate allowing the dogs to be released, if you will, against this fourth branch of government?
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy told us he's going to get the evidence out in front of the American people, and that means releasing the 14,000 hours of tapes that have been hidden, that I think would give more full context to that day rather than the cherry-picked moments that the January 6th committee tried to use to inflame and further divide our country. So yes, I do believe that part of this deal is a concession that we are going to get the truth out in front of the American people. And you know what? Kevin McCarthy could have in his victory speech just said, well, the government is weaponized, but he was very specific in his language. He talked about the weaponization of the FBI specifically. His willingness to do that with particularity, I think shows that he's ready to lower his shoulder and to get into this fight that so many Americans expect us to be in on behalf of the civil rights that we hold dear.
And contrast that to Paul Ryan or Boehner, who never would have done that. And you deserve a lot of credit, Matt, for steering that direction, because Kevin wanted to be speaker really badly. He said, wow, I'm not going to be speaker if I don't listen to these members and cut a deal. Is that a fair way to depict it or summarize it?
Well, I think it is fair to say that we would not be in the position today had we had a smooth Tuesday. But I would rather have a turbulent 4 days and then come up with a process that we all believe in and commitments that we can rely on than have a really smooth takeoff and then 2 years of turbulence and not really knowing what's coming next. So I think this is a far preferable system. I think we've got our cards on the table right now. The American people know what to expect from a fighting Republican majority. The Senate knows to what they can expect from us regarding how we are going to comport ourselves and handle the legislative process professionally like adults. And I thought it was interesting to hear people give speeches about the institution, about what drives decisions here in Washington, D.C., and we want to make this a better place.
And, thank you. I do appreciate that. I honestly do appreciate that. But once again, we made a huge thing about nothing. Of course, they didn't quite make the big deal about January 6th this year as they tried to, as they did last year, which was just an absolute shame and a sham. The supposedly highly publicized committee hearings that they were supposed to have during prime time that would take up the entire country's attention got worse ratings than CNN did the entire previous year. The only people watching those committee hearings were people like me who are masochists when it comes down to listening to that kind of shit. Yet we have every single one of those select or unselect committee members cherry-picked by Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. Even the Republicans that were on there were rhinos. I firmly believe that if Liz Cheney was not on the January 6th Unselect Committee, she would have retained her seat this term. But she got primaried because of her actions on that committee. Yeah, she's a never Trumper, period. End of discussion. She used that committee to sandbag her own career. And now she's just an embittered person who goes around from state to state battling other Republicans, never sticking up for Republicans. So, Rhino, big time Rhino. Yeah, Apache Roberts, I agree. Unfortunately, the Democrats, know they are untouchable from the long arm of the law for now. But the times, they are changing. Like I said, what happens in the House of Representatives is going to have very long and far-reaching consequences for the Democrats. Because they are going to dig their heels in and appear to be unified, but essentially what they're doing is voting against the American people with every bill they turn away or vote down. They aren't interested in bipartisanship. They are interested in their way or no way. And they know once it reaches the Senate that these bills will either die in committee or they won't even be brought up. I've said this for a long time. The best years that we have are years where Congress is in gridlock. They can't get anything done. They don't have a chance to screw up our lives. And if by some miracle that a bill does get through the Senate and goes through reconciliation and manages to land on the president's desk, you can be almost guaranteed that sack of shit is going to veto it. So he'll look like an asshole. And that's what the Republicans, I believe, are looking at with this first bill passage that rescinds the $80 billion for 87,000 armed federal agents, IRS agents. And I don't care how many times that they want to put in the New York Times or on CNN or even up there from the podium in the White House press room that no, these weren't supposed to be armed agents. Then why in the hell was the ad posted for armed IRS agents? You tell me. You tell me. It is Rob, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Miss Rob Hanson. And Misty Hanson, and we will be back after these very short announcements. You're listening to The Raw. 928-476-0331.
This portion of The Raw could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at theraw@ktox.com. That's theraw@ktox.com. theraw@ktox.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010. United Private Investigations, owned by Lyle Sharman, has over 30 years of investigative experience in criminal, civil, business, and private investigations. United Private Investigations provides professional and confidential investigations for corporations, companies, legal professionals, insurance companies, and individuals. Voted Best Private Investigator in Mojave County in 2018 and 2019. Contact Lyle Sharman with United Private Investigations at 928-542-5178.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. Enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee.
And welcome back. It is the Rock hostess with the mostest, Miss Misty Hanson, and number to dial in if you want to. I'll give it to you in a minute because I can't read it on the screen. 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. You want some really depressing news now? It's not like the news I've given you has been all that upbeat and positive. But now something to really, so you get kicked in the teeth. You've been listening to my programs, the Miss Rob Hanson radio program, and of course here in the Raw. You've heard me warn that we are heading for a worldwide recession. In fact, we have actually, in the U.S., we have been in recession, even though they keep claiming that, no, we're not in recession. We're not in a recession. Although, we've lost 200,000 jobs in the job market in the last 10 months. The effects of the Biden administration's policies affected last year's markets as well. Last year in 2022 was the worst since 1871 for the stock and bond markets combined. It essentially wiped out $10 trillion worth of Americans' wealth. Now, the World Bank is reporting that 2023 will see a recession. The report suggests that the economy in the U.S. may just miss a recession. Whatever. But if it does, the growth rate for the year will be barely positive. The global economy will come perilously close to a recession this year, led by weaker growth in the world's top economies, the United States, Europe, China. The World Bank warned on Tuesday in an annual report. The World Bank, which lends money to poorer countries for development projects, said it had slashed its forecast for global growth this year by nearly half to just 1.7% from its previous projection of 3%. If that forecast proves accurate, it would be the third weakest annual expansion in 3 decades, behind only the deep recession that resulted from the 2008 global financial crisis and the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, which was barely a blip. The point of the matter is, guys, we did this to ourselves. We did this to ourselves. Everything that is happening to us now are all self-inflicted wounds. We got lazy, we got fat, we got complacent, and thought that everything would be just fine. And we lost sight of what the other side was trying to do. We stopped watching our polls. We stopped watching our elections. We stopped paying attention to what the crazies were saying. Excuse me. And they just went deeper into their nuttiness. In the first days of the potato regime, he killed 47,000 jobs by nixing the XL pipeline. That immediately started shooting gas prices up, especially after he started shutting off the domestic oil spigot. And then turning our reliance of energy onto foreign sources that hate us, that absolutely fucking hate us. The Saudis have no love for us. The Russians have no love for us. The Chinese have no love for us, even though they don't have any oil. All the Middle Eastern countries have no love for us. They like to take our money, sure. But they want to take more and more and more and more and more of our money. This last year, we saw gas prices reach a national average of over $5 a gallon. It's still over $6 and $7 a gallon in California in places. And going back up again. They claim that, oh yes, we're refilling the National Strategic Reserve because of the lower oil prices. When all we really had to do was open oil development back up in this country. We sandbagged our own transportation industry. We sandbagged them. Especially through the pandemic when we told them that, I'm sorry, unless you get a vaccine, You can't drive a truck. You can't deliver goods. They told dock workers that they were unnecessary and sent them home. We had ships piled up at our ports with no one to unload them because no one was coming into work because they were all deemed unnecessary. And then when we did open it back up, well, the people weren't there to take up the jobs again. They weren't there to take up the jobs again. They weren't there to take up the mantle of going back to work. They liked getting their little stimulus checks. They liked getting their monthly payments to stay home. Making more in unemployment than they were in their actual wages. It's amazing to me. I don't know why I continue to work during the pandemic or plandemic, because I would have made an absolute fortune in unemployment. As a matter of fact, a couple of my bosses encourage us to do just that. Take a leave of absence and go get unemployment for as long as it lasts. Of course, we chose not to. We chose to go to work. We chose to make sure that information continued to get out. What little of it that we got that was real. We chose to so-called put our lives in danger. We refused to get the vaccine. We refused to mask up. And amazingly enough, we didn't get sick. And we didn't get others sick. Yet we lost our nation at that time. There are jobs available out there. Seriously, there are jobs available out there. Every business that I go to throughout town, whether it's Safeway, Walmart, any of the casinos across the river, even specialty mom and pop boutiques, they have room for employees, except they cannot find the employees because they don't want to work. They continue to want to have their hand out. And that's all a response from what happened during COVID-19. And some of that I blame Trump on. Some of that I blame Trump on. The rest of it I blame on the individual state governors, including Arizona. We shut down our own economy so hard that there are people now who are losing their homes. Have already lost their apartments. And the good jobs that they had are no longer there. We've lost business after business throughout Arizona, especially in the restaurant service industry. Because they decided that those people who provided a necessary function had to stay home for months on end. Our children, our precious children, received virtually no education for an entire year. And then when they were allowed to go back to school, they were put in paper masks where they started to develop true psychological problems such as not being able to look you in the eye because they didn't recognize a face. They also developed speech problems. Because I don't care how well you speaking through a paper mask, you're not speaking well. We did it to ourselves. We allowed it to happen to ourselves, and now we're paying the price for it. We got complacent during the 2020 election, figuring, yeah, we got this in the bag. We got this in the bag, and then we watched an entire election go to hell in a handbasket. The fallout is still happening in the 2022 elections. And the only ones we can blame are ourselves. Sure, we can blame our elected leaders. We can plead and beg for them to come forth with a plan to help rescue us from our own stupidity, investigate what's happening. But the thing is, they aren't interested in investigating what happened. They aren't interested in fixing the problems. The only thing they've been interested in is adding to the problems. Making sure that voting is less secure now than it was 10 years ago. We all have choices to make. And it's not all gloom and doom. By no means is it gloom and doom. We still have our lives. We still have our families. Most of us still have our jobs that we get to do, that we love doing, like this. My job, I love doing it. I like to get paid for doing so. Absolutely. I like making money so I can afford nice things like what's hanging on my wall. So I can pay for internet connections that allow me to do this. And I feel it's my sacred duty to do it as well. Whether you agree with me or not. 855-928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. But like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom out there. Now I'm going to bring it home just a little bit. The Arizona state senators call for an investigation into Katie Hobbs charging donors as much as $250,000 using dark money group headquartered at Democrat law firm for inaugural events. Democrat Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, whose election is still under question and litigation, is now under fire as it was revealed that Hobbs sold tickets to her inaugural events for as much as $250,000, reportedly using a dark money operation. Hobbs was sworn into office on Monday, January 2nd, at a private ceremony closed to the public and the media. Go fucking figure. In a bizarre moment of incompetence and unseriousness, Hobbs burst into laughter after she was told to solemnly swear that she will support the Constitution. That was a fucking laugh. I was highly embarrassed for her. Days after the ceremony, Hobbs celebrated her inauguration with an black tie gala taking Styx Resort Casino on Saturday, January 7th, just this last weekend. For these events, Hobbs reportedly asked donors to give $250,000 to the Katie Hobbs Inaugural Fund without disclosing where the money was going. $250,000 bought a platinum sponsor status with 25 seats at Thursday's inauguration ceremony, signed programs, and a special gift with no limitation on how much donors can contribute. On December 10th, 5 days before Hobbs declared victory in the gubernatorial race, Nicole DeMont, the Democrat campaign manager, quietly filed articles of incorporation for a 501c4 nonprofit called An Arizona for Everyone. On December 13th, still 2 days before Hobbs declared victory, DeMont then filed articles of incorporation for another 501c or C4, whichever, explosive, I know, nonprofit entity called the Hobbs Inaugural Fund, which presumably speaks for itself. The known businesses listed both entities. Corporate records is the address of Coppersmith Brockman PLC, a politically tied law firm that represents Hobbs on election cases in her capacity as Secretary of State. A former partner at the firm was a judge who administered the Democrats' oath of office last Monday. The financial connection between these two dark money groups and Hobbs' inaugural events, such as her ceremonial ball, remains to be seen, but the identities may serve as helpful guidance to oversight by legislators whom she has already antagonized, who want to determine whether the public funds have been transferred between two groups and the state government. After further investigation into the claims that the law office Coppersmith and Brockman PLC listed as the known places of business for these shady nonprofits, it can be confirmed that the address listed is the same as Coppersmith Brockman. The firm represented defendant Katie Hobbs in Kari Lake's ongoing lawsuit to overturn the 2022 election. So things are moving forward in Arizona. Arizona still is a hotbed for stupidity. And the further we go forward, the more of this comes uncovered. Let's go to the phones. The Raw, you are on the air. Good evening.
Hey, Rob, you know that Rumble's down and YouTube's down.
Rumble's down and YouTube's down. Are they?
Yeah, I can't connect to. Yeah, I can't connect. It's weird. Everything else, I mean, I can watch. I'm watching Prime right now.
Yeah, I'm here. It seems to be streaming for me.
All right, so you got people that are on right now that are watching that?
I've got a couple of people on, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't connect to Rumble. It's strange.
Yeah.
This has happened before, but not like this. With YouTube's down too.
Really? Wow, strange. That sucks. Maybe
you're up and running though, right?
Yeah, I'm up and running. Let's see if I've got. Hang on a second. Let me make sure that. Yeah, I'm still streaming on ScrewTube.
Right. Yeah, I tried going on there. I was like, well, I thought it was just Rumble, but
yeah. Well, you're also on Twitter, right?
Well, I had three emails that they permanently suspended me, and then I opened up another one just recently, just Al Getcher or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And I haven't. I only posted a couple of things that you had on there, and that was it. And I haven't really, but I could probably try to get on there too. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm streaming. I'm streaming live on Twitter. I'm also streaming live on Facebook on the on Independent Raw News.
Yeah, I don't do that fucking Facebook shit. You know what I mean? But
I understand, but you know these are also and
I do have a Twitter account. Let me see if I can get on there. See,
yeah.
You know.
And also,
I
I'm
realize
also
that you
at
were streaming on Twitter,
DLive.com.
too. Oh, okay. I don't have DLive, but all right. Thanks, Rob.
You
I'll
betcha.
See if I can get on. And what are you talking about right now? Because I can't hear anything.
Right now, I'm talking about the fucking governor that we have out here, Katie Hobbs. She's under
Oh, the evil Minnie Mouse.
She's
the evil fucking Minnie Mouse.
She's under investigation for campaign finance problems right now. Seems that she offered tickets to her inaugural event in upwards of $250,000 that were funneled into nonprofit organizations.
Oh, Rob, isn't she fucking wonderful?
Absolutely fucking wonderful.
All right, Rob. Bye.
Yeah, all righty. We'll talk to you in a bit. It is the Raw.
No, if you want to talk, I'll talk.
No, that's fine. I thought you were going away.
I thought I lost you there. I thought you hung up on me.
But no, I didn't. You didn't hear the click or the clunk.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so there you go. We're fine, but no, that wonderful sack of shit. She's
yeah, I know.
She'll be under
sweetheart.
investigation from the Senate. They're already talking about impeaching her behind closed doors.
She's a little sweetie.
There's
really
also
is. You know what? She gets away with it.
Yeah. Well, here in about 2 or 3 months, there will be people that will start pulling papers to have her recalled. If anything else, she's got an uphill battle. I mean, her first 4 executive orders were they weren't pretty, and what's rumored coming down is a lot worse.
You know, she'll just rig the election just like that scumbag in California did with his recall.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
well,
I know that he got recalled.
Absolutely.
Want that government over there.
All you heard from Californians, hardline Democrats, the whole 9 yards, is how Gavin Newsom is absolute shit, and I'm voting him out of office. Anybody but Newsom, and yet he somehow managed to win overwhelmingly in California.
Yeah. Boggles the mind.
Yes, it
What
does.
boggles my mind is that Republicans just don't grow a spine and fight back against this fucking corruption.
And
that's the part that really gets me.
That's because the majority of the hardline Republicans are part of this uniparty.
Yeah.
They want the dysfunction. They want the weak sauce. They're making money. They're fine. They're in office. Every couple of years, just like Ted Cruz, every couple of years he goes absolute, conservative right side, and then for the next couple of years, he's a fucking rhino. People forget, and he wins his election, and he stays in office. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the debate on the floor about term limits.
Yeah, that'll never pass. Never in a fucking million years.
It'll pass the Congress.
They won't pass that. No fucking way. It has to be where it has. You really think that they'll pass that? Come on, Rob. Really?
Well, no. It'll pass the House of Representatives. It won't get past the Senate.
Oh, maybe the House, but it'll just stall. It'll just die.
And yes, it'll stall there, and it'll never come up for a constitutional convention, which is what it's going to take to actually change that.
Well, the only way this can happen, right, is if the people in this country, basically do a plebiscite, you know what I mean? Which is, a vote a personal vote. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What do they call that? We call it a plebiscite. I forget
what it's called is getting is creating a constitutional convention. We can do that.
Right. That's something like that. Then
we can do that. We can get
they vote on it.
We can get parties within 25 or more states together and say, we are holding a constitutional convention. Come on, guys, let's talk about this. And then whatever that constitutional convention comes up with is what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, it's all about the money, though. And
It's all about the money. Absolutely.
They have all the money. Democrat Party is fucking rich, man. And even Republicans now, that fucking McConnell, he's been fucking sifting fucking right up the top there,
They are.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I put a comment in, because I saw this thing on YouTube earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's late here, I mean, it's already past, it's like midnight here, right?
Right.
But earlier, there was this thing about the police academies. And I put a comment in there. I don't want to talk about it over the phone right now, but when you get a chance, let's bring this up. I mean, they're basically brainwashing these cadets in these police academies. Remember, we were talking about this before. My relatives are really concerned over there in Arizona. They think it's a fucking police state right now over there.
It's going to be.
I mean,
if Hobbs has her way, it's going to be.
They say it is right now. Between the politicians and the police, it's fucking terrible there.
Yeah. Well, you've got Republican strongholds like Mojave County and a lot of the smaller counties. However, just one county in Arizona, and that would be Maricopa County outnumbers all of us.
Yeah, well, Maricopa's everything in that old state.
Yeah, if you want to win office, you have to win Maricopa County, and right now that's impossible.
That's where all the cities are, and that's the most populous, county.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
So if you look at that comment, we don't have to talk about it tonight, but check it out. There's a couple of YouTube videos about this where they these instructors at these police academies are basically telling them, your only objective and your priority is that you get home safe. That's it. None of this serve the fucking people or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Try to be the good.
That's been that way for some time now, unfortunately. That's been that way for some time now. And it's not just Arizona. It's not. Trust me, it's not just Arizona.
Oh no! This is the whole country.
Take a look at Uvalde, Uvalde, or wherever that mass shooting in Texas happened. Okay, where they stood down for almost an hour while kids were getting killed inside of us.
Oh yeah, Uvalde. Yeah. I know.
That's it.
They fired that police chief. Too.
They don't only need to fire that police chief. He needs to be strung up at the nearest tree. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
By his fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is, they had just gone through training for a situation just like that, and they decided they would rather go home. They would rather be able to go home safely than allow children to go home safely.
Oh man, I'll tell you, this country right now, there's a whole bunch of places in this country, and if you see a map of this country, the red and blue,
mm-hmm.
right? Who votes for what? I mean, this country is basically a conservative.
It is. It is.
It really is.
The conservative counties, as far as numbers of counties, well outnumber the liberal counties and liberal voting districts. It's really interesting to see. However, these population centers like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Sacramento, New York City, Chicago, Denver, Colorado, even Orlando, even Miami, Florida, are all fucking liberal, and Phoenix. And Phoenix. I don't want to forget Phoenix, but they're all liberal strongholds that outnumber that outnumber everybody else as far as physical votes. This is one of the things that they've been, you've heard they tried to do this. You remember back in 2016 when Trump won. Okay.
Yeah, it was the greatest night of my life.
It was a great night. I knew it was going to win because we called my mother MAGA, MAGA. So why not? Sure, but that's neither here nor there. But the day after Trump won, they were talking about trying to eliminate the Electoral College once again. Every time those fuckers lose an election, they're talking about trying to eliminate or bypass the Electoral College.
Not just the Electoral College, there's stuff in the Supreme Court and making Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. states so they get 4 more senators.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a big fucking scam they got going here.
Of course it is.
They don't give a shit about the fucking Constitution. Come on.
No,
and
they
power and control.
The mail-in voting with absolutely no safeguards or checks on that. What does that do? That opens it up to illegitimate votes from people who have no right to vote. And I'm not just talking about mom and dad who are lifelong Republicans who are now passed away who just happened to vote Democrat this year. No, I'm talking about people who have snuck in across the border who are being given ballots.
Hey Rob, wait until 2024, right? You think 2,000 mules? We're talking 100 million fucking donkeys here. You know what I mean? They're gonna do everything they fucking can to win this thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Believe me.
Absolutely.
And Republicans don't have any fucking spine. You know what I mean? They got no backbone. They got no fucking discipline and organization to fight back this fucking corruption.
Here's the bright spot in this, and then I do have to go to a break because I'm way over time on my break. But here's the bright spot. Here's the bright spot in this. Hi, Henry. I'll be right with you. Of course, I'm on the phone with Alan right now.
Hey, Alan.
Tell Henry to go fuck himself.
He's giving you the bird right now. But
high tundra, motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, Tundra's not interested. Oh, there we go. Finally, a little bit of a bark. But no, here's the bright spot in this. Okay, with this Republican-controlled House of Representatives, like I said earlier, okay, the bills and all the stunts that they're going to be doing are aimed at one thing and one thing only: to make the Democrats look like the total assholes that they are. They're going to. Yeah, none of this shit's going to get through the Senate. If it happens, all right. It's not there. There isn't going to be a Republican and Democrat consensus on bills. No, it's going to be strictly vote by party line. And I believe the long-term strategy for the Republicans is to make the Democrats look as evil as they truly are.
Oh, they are. And you know what? It doesn't matter. They're a bunch of egotistical fucking maniacs and narcissists. You know what I mean? They don't care.
Absolutely.
Rob, you think they care what the Republicans think?
Absolutely.
They don't fucking care.
All right, Alan. Well, I'm going to let you go because, Henry's here chomping at the bit,
Of course he is.
And
probably eating a fucking Big Mac. Right?
No, he's eating cheese crackers that are peanut butter crackers or something crackers that he's sharing with his dog. So
Lorna Dunes.
Yep.
Well,
Bye-bye.
all right, my friend. Thanks for the call. Do appreciate talking to you. Bye-bye. It is the Rob, your hostess with Moses, Mr. Rob. Hi, Henry. How you doing?
Hi, Rob. I'm good. Dylan is on my lap, as you can see.
I see that. You're giving Dylan a little tongue action there.
A little bit. And I got this today. I don't know if you can see this or not.
It says Henry Longbreak, council member, City of Needles. Well, congratulations, Henry.
Yeah, that's my pin that goes on my heart. And so
bam.
I have my heart on.
That's your official city badge, huh?
It is.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness gracious me! Now, did you go to the city council meeting dressed just like that?
Just like this.
Why not dress up in a suit or something?
I was gonna wear my Joe and the Ho gotta go, but I figured that was a little bit inappropriate, even though it's true. They gotta go. But yeah, that was a little bit inappropriate. But even though most of the people in that room are leaning conservative, I still gotta yeah.
You gotta have a little bit of decorum. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, we're going to take a quick break. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with Moses, Miss Rob Hansen. And of course, you got finally being joined by Henry Longbreak, the guardian of the sacred phone number, 928-476-0331. Boy, you almost failed in your mission. You know, you're late an hour and 2 hours, and you can't remember how to do your damn job. We'll be right back. It is The Raw. Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010.
Learn how to defend yourself and your loved one. Kingman Force on Force. Krav Maga. Empty hands. Edge weapons. Firearms training. Train like law enforcement with our virtual range simulator. AZCCW classes. Free gun safety classes. Our instructors are AZDPS licensed, NRA certified, and former Combat Special Forces. 3001 Stockton Hill Road, Kingman, Arizona. www.kingmanforceonforce.com.
I'm Rob Hansen.
And I'm Henry Longbreak, along with Tundra.
And KTOX 1340 AM, we are pleased to support the Mojave County Sheriff's K-9 Foundation.
The Mojave County K-9 Foundation teams with the Mojave County Sheriff Department to keep our county safer. It increases deputy safety, and the dogs are highly visible deterrents against robberies, burglaries, and drug dealing.
K-9s can save time clearing buildings. It takes less than the quarter of the time that it would take a deputy on his own.
K-9s can track juvenile runaways, missing elderly persons, fleeing suspects, and provide comfort to traumatized victims.
For more information about the Mojave County Sheriff's K-9 Foundation, or you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation or host a fundraising event that includes a K-9 demonstration, call John Sanchelli at 651-270-0920 or go online at www.mcsk9f.com.
The Mojave County Sheriff K-9 Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Okay, this is the target house.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry, Henry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like sun came up outside.
You in the house. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
The opinions voiced on The Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you! Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill. Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Dime does it and they call them racist. We the people. Let's go with it. We the people.
Although, I do have a question for Henry. He spent an awful lot of money on brand spanking new headphones, and he's wearing the other ones. And you're, I don't hear you, Henry. Push the button on the bottom of your thing.
I just grabbed what I had going on here and I threw it on, and here I am.
Here you are.
Here I am. I had a little little thing at city council that I had to take care of. So
No, that's okay. I figured, you'd have your nice studio headphones on. That
I was gonna. I looked at the box and I said it's already packed. I'm leaving in the morning. I'm going out of town.
Oh,
and
there you go. I understand.
Yeah. And I says, well, you know what? I'm not gonna pull them out. I just throw these on.
Yeah, most definitely. But they're good headphones. By the way, if you would like a set of those, if anybody out there would like to purchase a good set of headphones, and I mean these are good headphones.
They're professional quality for studio monitors. I mean they're great.
Oh,
they're not these. These are good for music. These are Beats. They're great for music.
These are these that I have on, which are the same ones we have down at KTOX, are great.
Right, and they're inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. And go have Rob go ahead and tell the story on that one, Rob.
Well, I make sure you let me know, and I will get you a link that not only will help you out, but it'll help out the Raw as well. So
yes.
If
anything else on Amazon,
just hit me up, and I will provide you with a personal link. And whatever it is you're looking for,
and you will get the best price, and you will be helping us.
Yes, absolutely. But I've got to make 3 sales in the next 180 days, otherwise I'll lose the account again, and I'll have to reset it up.
Yes,
it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, neither here nor there. Hiya, Henry. Glad you had it. Did you get anything solved? Is Needles on the right track, or is it heading off the cliff?
It's going to take 10 years for a quick fix.
What
was the music?
I hit a bunch of buttons at the same time that I didn't want to hit. I just want to hit that one. That's the one I wanted to hit. Of course,
there is no quick fix.
Yeah, of course there's no quick fix.
Yeah, there is no quick fix. We're doing what we can there. And Dylan, stop. Come here, right now. Get over here.
Comes in and barks at you.
Oh, yeah, that was loud too. What's really neat is I got on a board as an alternative. It's a travel assignment. It meets once a month in Victorville. That's the air quality board. I am an alternate on that, and we have I forget who it. I think it's Joanne, one of the other council members.
The air quality board.
Yeah, the air quality. Yeah, for air quality to come back and do reports on that. We go to sit in a meeting and then we come back and do report. There's a lot of boards. There's a whole lot of boards.
Yeah.
And we had to vote on all them tonight. And that was the only one that I said, I raised my hand and I says, okay, I got to get on something. So, I mean, that was the one I did. And so we did that, and we addressed some issues on the grocery store in our town. And
the lack thereof,
which isn't here, and it's a lack thereof. Yes, and I asked him about the market. The market is a store that was going to come here. They are in Laughlin, and they really didn't want to answer me. And I asked him another question. I says, "Are we still working on getting them here?" And the city manager said yes. And I said, "Okay," and leave it at that.
Well, and here's the thing that should have been said, Henry. The follow-up question is, and exactly what the fuck are you doing? Not exactly in those terms. You punched your button, and disconnected yourself again. You.
Why does it keep muting?
Because you keep disconnecting for some reason, but. No, the question should have been, and exactly what are you doing about it?
Yeah, and also at the end of the meeting, when there was a few issues that I addressed at the last council meeting, and the city manager said he had them taken care of, and I disagreed with him. And
what issues were those?
Well, there is a caboose car sitting at Train Park, and it has graffiti all over it. And he said that was addressed. It's in the minutes and everything. That was addressed, and it has been removed, and it's scheduled to be repainted. I went and looked at it tonight. It's still graffitied up. And I am not happy with that. And also
that is just a bald-faced lie.
Okay, now, and also, this is even more to you, because you're a veteran. We have a flag that doesn't have a light on it.
Yeah,
and he said that was addressed. There's two flags that
don't, and you phased out again. You might.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't know why. And you're gone again. It's got to be your USB connection there, Henry. Is all I can think. There you are.
Okay, I am back. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Definitely can hear
Rob?
you. Yes, I can hear you.
Fuck.
I can hear you.
Why is this not working?
It's working. I can hear you.
It's working now?
Yeah, I can
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you.
Well, okay, disconnect and come back. No, it wasn't that.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Shake your head. You can.
I can hear you. Disconnect and come back. Oh my goodness gracious me, mercy sakes alive. Technology is such a fun thing to work with.
This piece of shit.
It is.
Rob, I can't hear you. A word you're saying. You can hear me though, right? Shake your head. Okay, I can't hear you.
Shut off your program and come back in.
I've got it turned up. Everything.
That is
Everything's
not what
up.
I'm saying.
Turn it off. Turn it back on.
Yes.
Okay, turn it off. Turn it back on.
No, not your microphone.
Still can't fucking
Not
hear
your
you.
Not.
I'm gonna reboot the whole fucking thing. Okay.
There. Do that. Welcome to the program. It is the Raw. I'm your hostess with Moses, Miss Rob Hanson. Of course, he's going to back out of there. He'll come back in. We'll get him back up. It's oh my goodness gracious me. Your phone calls 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Oh my goodness gracious me. We've gone through that. We've gone through that. We've gone through that. We've gone through that. Oh, here's one we haven't gone through that is incredibly weird. All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Do you hear me?
Okay, yeah. That's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to tell you to do. Exit out of there and then reopen it.
This is stupid.
I don't know what's going on, Henry. I don't know. I have a feeling it has everything to do with your USB connection.
Okay.
Anyway, an Air Force Academy offensive lineman, Hunter Brown, died suddenly while walking to class. Air Force Academy, okay?
Wow.
Young, in shape, supposedly healthy, just absolutely drops dead.
Wow.
Hunter from Louisiana experienced a medical emergency when he left his dorm for class. The military has forced COVID vaccination policy on the military until December. The Air Force put out a statement earlier this week. Team USAFA. It saddens me to inform you that
this has never happened before in our time.
No, it hasn't.
People have been dropping dead.
People just up and drop fucking dead.
Right, for no reason at all.
No reason whatsoever.
And once they drop dead like that, it goes away. We don't find out why they drop dead.
Exactly.
Or anything. No one's telling us anything. Now, can you say government cover up?
Yes, I can. And here's the thing, Henry. All right. They released more Twitter files today.
Okay.
I haven't been through them, but it was on this subject precisely about the effectiveness of the COVID vaccine and how Pfizer representatives worked through the White House, Joe Biden's White House, to silence people who questioned the vaccine and its effectiveness and its safety.
We should never be silenced. Never.
We should never be silenced. I mean, holy crap.
I don't care who you are, which side you're on, what you're making noise about. You should have the right to speak.
Absolutely have the right to speak. You have the responsibility to speak up.
Yes. I mean, as much as I hate CNN, CSNBC, they have a right to say what they say.
And that's fine, but the thing is, they don't report honestly, Henry.
No, they don't. You're absolutely right.
They don't report honestly. Therefore, what they're reporting is actual lies.
It's big time lies. Okay, now when Fox or Newsmax or something like that reports a bold ass lie like that, they get censored.
Exactly. They get censored. They get taken off. Look at the Hunter Biden laptop, okay? 100% true story.
Yep. That could have affected the election too.
Yes, it would have.
Joe Biden has those secret files, those top secret files that they found when they were moving his office.
Do you know when they found them?
Oh, probably a long.
No, and you phased out again.
This is fucked up. Let's keep doing this. Are you
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear
Why
me?
that keeps doing? Yeah, I hear
it's
you
your
fine.
it's your USB connection. It's your USB
Okay.
connection. Something screwy there with it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why, but it's just doing it. Just try to keep the microphone as still as you can, I guess.
Yeah, I will, and I'm going back to the place where I got this from. Tomorrow, and I'm gonna raise hell with them about it. It when I'm doing a cast like this, it fucks up.
Take all of your equipment with you. You see, you phased out again.
See,
Yeah.
Am I here?
You're here.
See, I'm not even moving.
Well, you were. I just saw you move the cables.
Okay.
I just saw you move the cables just now. You just and we lost you right there. And you're gone now.
One right there.
Yeah, I saw you move the cables just before you phased out. So quit moving the cables.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't matter. So
it really shouldn't matter.
Micro Center in Tustin, California. Here I come.
Yeah. Well, what you may need is a new USB cable. That's fine. They'll be able to hook you up with that. But excuse me.
I shouldn't have to pay for it. I just bought this damn thing
a
couple months ago.
Maybe I don't know. It all depends. It depends upon what they'll have to say. But what we were talking about were the Biden's files.
Yeah.
That they found. Would you like to care to take a guess on when they discovered these?
Probably years ago.
No. December 2nd, 2022.
So they're just now coming out with it.
Or I'm sorry, November 2nd, 2022. Just days before the
midterms. The midterms. Yes.
Just days before that.
Motherfuckers.
And you know that they kept that as quiet as they could.
Yep.
They kept it as absolutely as quiet as they could. I had the story. Here we go. The documents had to do with
Tundra. Come here. Dylan.
They were related to Ukraine, Iran, and China that were in his office, and other parts of Europe. The confidential. Or top secret documents. Now, did you hear any of his lame ass excuses?
No, didn't even hear him. No, what did he say?
Oh, he blew it off. Oh, we immediately turned them over, and I don't even know what was in there, and it's not a big deal. Okay.
Yeah, but Trump's were.
You raided Trump's house with the FBI.
Yeah.
In Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
You planted evidence to make it think that he had nuclear codes.
Right.
And
obviously that failed because we're not hearing anything else about it.
Absolutely it failed. It failed big time. They got their ass caught.
Yep.
They got their ass caught. They had to shut up about it.
And now when you're accusing somebody of something, guess what you're doing yourself?
Probably what you're accusing them of.
Yep.
Today I watched debates for the new committees that are coming up in the House.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the Democrats got up to speak, they were accusing Republicans of being terrorists.
Yep. Yeah,
of wanting to cover up crimes of terrorism,
of course,
committed by MAGA Republicans. Would somebody please, for the love of God, show me one act of terrorism that was caused by a MAGA Republican?
That's right. That's right.
One act of terrorism.
And do you know? Well, yeah, I'm sure you know this. That during the confirmation of the Speaker of the House,
we watched that
Democrat motherfucker that all the Democrats were voting for got up there and say, "Well, yeah, that Mar-a-Lago." Had to go and slam him again. That motherfucker needs to be bitch slapped.
Absolutely, but the thing is, that's their messaging, and they're looking like absolute dicks doing so.
That's all they have. That's all they have.
I understand you were tired and you got angry during his speech, but you really should have stuck around for McCarthy's speech.
I couldn't hear that motherfucker. I couldn't even hear him no more. He was just such a cocksucker.
That's fine, but you should have stuck around for McCarthy's speech, because McCarthy didn't attack the Democrats. Matter of fact, he extended the hand to Democrats, wanting cooperation with the Democrats. He actually said some nice things about the Democrats, but said this is how it's going to be, and this is what we're going to do, and this is for transparency. This isn't a slam against you, and any debate we have is not personal; it's business.
Right.
And I want the spirit of cooperation. Yet the Democrats turn it around and smack them right in the face.
Yep, of course.
And it isn't a gender affirming physical contact like you threaten to do to me every other sentence.
You want me to do that? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, they're slamming.
It's time after time after. I should, God, if I had the time today, I would have gone through and I would have recorded some of these Democrat speeches. But frankly, they're just full of vitriol and vile.
And
they're still bitching about the bill that was passed through the House to defund the 87,000 IRS agents.
Yep.
They're still bitching about that, where there's no sense to bitch about it, because it's going to go over. It's going to go over to the Senate, where it's going to fucking die.
Right.
But in the meantime, the Democrats are going to look like complete fucking assholes while doing so.
They do anyway.
I understand that. But the thing is, the people are watching them. This is high entertainment right now.
It isn't, though. That's the sad thing. It isn't.
Oh, no, it is.
It's our country that's
true
involved.
Entertainment. Oh, yes.
No. So it's not entertainment. It's not. It's not. It's vile right now.
Yeah, it is. But it's high entertainment. Trust me, it is. It really is. I sit there. I almost went live today.
If we get more people like Our Lady from Hawaii and this other so-called turncoat that left the Democratic Party,
Christian sentiment here in Arizona.
I understand.
She didn't leave it. You should have seen what she posted the other day. It was right down the goddamn line.
Listen to me. What I'm saying is we need more of them to wake up the rest of them that are doing that. At least she said something. I know she's a piece of shit. I already know that. But she said something about it.
The only reason she did that is she's up for election in 2024.
Yeah. Okay.
She's up for election. She's up for election.
2 years away. 2 years away. What's said today doesn't matter in 2 years.
What she's trying to do right now is build a little insulation between her and the Democrat Party, so she doesn't look like the asshole.
But she pulled it right back in.
Of course she did.
Yeah, but now our lady from Hawaii is
you lost it again.
Following course from Hawaii.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's absolutely insane. But it's Henry, I don't know. I just don't know. Everything that the Republicans are going to do is completely for show for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Completely for show. The Democrats have a firm hold in the Senate, unfortunately, and the Republicans have a firm hold in the House. And it's going to be 2 years worth of nothing.
Right.
It's going to be a great, big, huge fucking nothing burger.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing's going to happen.
Yes.
And that's why I decided to run for small government. I'm going to do my part in my city, and trust me, I am going to be a thorn in their side if they don't get things done.
And you see, that is the only thing that you can truly do, Henry. That's the only thing you can truly do is be active in local government.
I've heard other talk show hosts constantly say, run for local government, get into local government, do this, do that, and they're doing not a fucking thing. Now, I'm not talking about you. I know you did. But most of them, they're not. They got their head up their ass. They're not talking the truth. They're talking get into local government. You, but not me.
Well,
you know what? The first time I said that, I did.
Here's the thing, Henry. Now, here in all honesty, if I ran and was elected to a government position, okay, like city council, mayor, board of supervisors, state legislator, whatever it is, I would leave broadcasting.
Okay.
I would completely leave broadcasting. The reason is because I would end up using my platform. I know me. I would end up using my platform to influence my agenda.
Okay.
And
you have a right to do that.
Oh, I do have a right to do that.
I've talked to the attorneys, and I've talked to them, and I have a right to say anything I want anytime I want, as long as it's made public.
That's correct. But to me, I find that now, not necessarily for you. Okay. Having you on as a co-host is just fine because I know when to pull the plug on anything Needles related.
Well, and I know when not to say anything.
And you know when not to say anything. However, for me, it would be unethical for me to be the show's hostess. Okay.
Hostess with the mostest.
No, the hostess with the absolute mostest. But seriously, it is for me, it would be unethical. So therefore I encourage others in the community to get active in their local community politics. It's either get out there and run or attend city council meeting, board meetings, legislative
be of service with the government.
Be a thorn in their fucking side.
Absolutely. You got to be a thorn in their side. Especially if they're not doing things they're supposed to be doing.
One of the things
I am their boss.
Right. And one of the things that absolutely thrilled the ever-loving hell out of me for years working with KTOX is watching the sheer panic on city council members' faces when I walked in through the doors at a city council meeting.
There you go.
I had everybody from mayors to city council members to police chiefs coming up. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, hope you're here not to complain about something. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to report on either your successes or your failures. This is one of the reasons why I got along with the former Bullhead City Mayor Tom Brady so well. It says, I'm not here to attack you, Mayor.
Right.
I'm here to support you, but I'm also going to report on your fucking failures.
That's right.
And guess what? I have.
All right, and you've also reported on our wonderful councilwoman in Bullhead City.
Well,
that you even have a theme song for her.
Absolutely. I've got dirt on her. I could talk for 3 or 4 hours on her just alone, but I'm not going to.
No, because we don't want to go 3 more hours.
3 more hours. Yeah. But
Johnny!
I'm not going to do this right now. She seems to be doing a fine job. But then again, I really haven't been paying that close of attention to Bullhead City Council, which I need to do.
Yes, and I have a friend on council now, and I'm friends with the mayor, and I actually have a couple friends on city council now.
Yeah,
and she isn't one of them. I haven't had a chance to really talk to them on what's going on and what their views are and stuff, which they're allowed to tell me. But when I do, I'm going to see what direction. I mean, I'm in a different city and state altogether, but we're the tri-state area. We need to work together.
Well, we do have a tri-state council.
Yes,
we do have a tri-state council, or actually, it's a tri-city council. It's in Mojave County, Kingman, Lake Havasu, and Bullhead. I think Needles needs to be invited to that.
Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. And I've talked to the county supervisor. I've talked to the mayor of Bullhead, the new mayor, and I've talked to a couple of
Steve D'Amico is the new mayor in Bullhead City.
The 2 city council people about it, and they are 100% with me on this. They're saying we need to get together. We need to figure out how to do this.
Absolutely.
And I've talked to my city manager, and I've talked to the other council, the ones I can talk to. I mean, there's a Brown Act that we have in California that you can only talk to 2 council people.
Yes,
about a subject.
Well, that's correct. That's because you get any more than that, and you actually have a quorum, and you can make law. And if it's not followed correctly, well, you could end up in jail. Same thing here in Arizona. It's the open meeting laws. Is essentially what it is. It's called the Brown Law in California. It's called the open meeting laws here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And it is important. Therefore, that's why city councils are encouraged to have many workshops where you can talk about things outside of making a decision.
Right.
And these are open to the public because they have to be open to the public.
Correct.
But workshops like on road construction, workshops on capital projects, essentially it's a time for council to get together with city staff and have open and frank discussions.
And I think that's so important to do because we don't know what the other council people are thinking.
Yeah.
We have no idea. And we want to be like-minded in a positive way for our city.
Well, and here's the thing, and something that I've noticed that Needles does not do. They do not have the workshops for capital expenditures.
No, they don't.
They draw up the city manager draws up the capital expenditure, puts it in a little package, wraps it up as neat on a bow, types up the order, and has you guys vote on it without knowing diddly shit and squat.
Correct.
About why precisely this capital expenditure needs to happen. The last capital expenditure that I saw in there was the decision to not hire another cop.
Right.
Okay.
And that was one.
That was $250,000, right?
And that was one thing that I voted for.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the lone person that voted for that.
But the thing is, it needed a workshop. It needed public, open, frank discussion, ideas could be exchanged without making law.
It did. It absolutely did. I agree with you 100% on that because we go in there basically blinded. We go in there with a packet.
Exactly.
That we have to read on. Now, I read through the packet 3 times. I went into the city manager's office yesterday and to talk to him. And basically what we talk about is well, it's private, I can't say it. But to try to get more information on it.
You're right.
And that's basically what I want to do. And not the way I'm going to vote. I want more information on it. The way I'm going to vote is what the people of the city want.
And that's it. But the thing is, if you don't have any more than a few days notice of what's going to be on the agenda, what's coming up on the agenda, you can't be prepared to talk to citizens.
Nope, you can't.
They can't give you their opinions unless it's in city council. And let's be honest, how many citizens show up to city council?
Not very many.
Not very damn many.
And the ones that do show up, they usually have a complaint.
Exactly. My street lights out. I have a pothole that's 6 cars deep right now in my front yard. My power bill's too high. Blah 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 blah.
We had that today. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I come on. I'm psychic.
You are psycho. I mean psychic.
Yeah, that too. But it's the same. It's the same thing. Every city council has the complainers that come in every single time, go up to the mic and say, you guys really just aren't doing the job. You need to fix this road here. It hasn't been fixed. I want it fixed now. Why won't you fix it? Why won't you talk back to me? Well, we can't talk back to you. This and that and everything else. Everything else.
When they come up to the microphone, we can't say a word. We had a woman come up today. And she goes, "Is that it? Is that it?" She's looking at all of us. It's like we can't say nothing.
Yeah,
we can't say a word.
And unfortunately, that's it. Now, that's what these workshops are for. When you're talking about things like road construction and what we're planning to do, especially budgets. God, you've got budgets coming up. You think this is a fucking nightmare now? You just wait until the budget meetings that you won't be invited to because they're not holding workshops for.
Right.
But I've got to hand it to Bullhead City when it comes down to budget time. They have budget workshops where if council actually does have deep questions, they come into the budget workshop and lay out everything that they need during the workshop, and therefore they can hammer out the particular budget that they're asking for the next fiscal year. And it's done in public, it's done up front. No decision, like I said, no decisions are made there, but tentative agreements are made. I mean, it's just like any committee meeting in Congress. Except you bring in your experts, you bring in your bureaucrats and whatnot support. They say this is what we need, this is why we need it, this is how it's going to help us do a better job for the citizens of town XYZ. And people feel leaving involved. If Bullhead City also televises and records all their workshops. I've gotten some really great crappy sound bites from workshops.
Yeah. Well, I actually have somewhere the video when I went to city council.
Right.
I actually have that somewhere. I don't know what the heck happened to it.
But it's still up there on the website if you want to if you want to look at it or look for it again. And that's when you went to Bullhead City Council.
That was in 2006. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can go back that far, and they are required by law to keep that.
Okay.
And keep that publicly available because it's a public meeting. Of course, various states offer various different laws.
Well, now don't they have like 7 years they can dispose of it?
No, it's permanent. It's permanent public record.
Okay.
Everything that is said in a council meeting, whether it's a workshop or an open meeting, and even there are meeting notes taken in closed session, have to be preserved forever.
Okay.
Because you're making laws. You're making laws, and those laws have, and later, 20 years down the line, you need to go back and look at the thought processes on whether or not to overturn an ordinance or not.
Right.
Or prosecute.
Prosecute them.
Prosecute them.
Two more hours.
2 more hours. Is that what Johnny's saying?
Yeah, of course. He would say that.
Yeah, he would if he was calling. 928-476-0331. Of course, we didn't take a break this hour, and we're running really short. Got about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes.
You only have to do an hour. Make sure that you get in your picks for the Crappy Movie Watch Party, and so we know what we're going to watch tomorrow night.
We do?
Yeah. Well, we've got 2 of them in so far. I need more. You had to ask me that. You don't know. You actually had to go and ask me that. Right now, what we have for that, Stitches.
Okay.
And The Dictator. You know what I'm going to
Oh my gosh, The Dictator's great.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do?
Crappy movie.
I'm going to share. I can do this. I can play trailers.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
I can try players. Here's the trailer for The Dictator.
Good afternoon, everybody. For over 4 decades, the people have lived under the rule of a tyrant who denies them their most basic human rights.
The time has come for him to step aside.
We must keep on with the NATO mission and bring him to justice.
I made that up.
It's the Rock in the building. Yes, Ma, I gotta tell you, but it's your boy Ho from the US.
WTF? What the فخور مجال محمد علي.
America, the birthplace of AIDS.
General, welcome to New York City. And while you're here, I highly recommend a visit to the Empire State Building before you or one of your cousins takes it down.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Malawa!
Megan, you were worth every penny.
Dylan!
Everything is in there as your manager requested.
What's this, a ruby? Is that a joke?
Lay down now, right now.
No, of course not. You're much less hairy.
Get set!
Oh, like most everything, move the goalposts. And here is the trailer.
Absolutely.
Everybody happy? Bastards.
You're late.
You're ugly. Shut it, you.
No, you shut it. You're not me, Dad.
Shut, I might be. It's time to cut the cake.
Oh.
You made it. I didn't know you knew so many people. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming.
Piss off. You've got a front row seat to my comeback show. You have hair in your throat.
Are you trying to be funny?
Ah!
Not anymore. Everybody happy? Where do you you're going.
Oh, man.
So either one of them will be good.
And that's Stitches.
Just for the record, not every party ends with a dead clown.
Just for the record, not every party ends with a dead clown. Anyway, that's it. There, those are available to view up there on the raw.locals.com.
Vote on them, and we will see
Well,
you guys tomorrow.
I will be putting up the poll here just after the show, so you guys can vote for those. I might peruse Amazon Prime for a couple more selections. Yes, absolutely, you can vote on them.
Oh, I'm gonna vote.
Absolutely, you can vote on that. So
mine is for the dictator.
Well, that's don't say
I just did. I just did.
But that's all right. Just wait until there, and I'll have all the movies up there, and you'll be able to pick the one that you want to watch.
And we're at the end of the show.
We are at the end of the show. It is the Raw. I'm so glad that everybody joined me tonight. I guess the East Coast had some issues where they couldn't get connected, but I do appreciate everybody watching, and I do appreciate the phone calls. And we will see you tomorrow night for the Raw Crappy Movie Party.
And we will see you, and I will be there.
Abso-freaking-lutely. It is the Raw. See you next week. Love you. Go out there and make the world a better place.
Just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen.
Avast, ye scallywags, it's another pirate production.